welcome to episode 1 of the gas station. Thanks a lot for coming, I really appreciate it. I know some of you come from miles away. This is my gorgeous co-host, Tony Lewis.
Okay, so guys, we want to just welcome you all down here to Berry. Firstly, just want to thank my boss for allowing us the opportunity to use our showroom here as a great makeshift studio. So we want to share with you basically our love and passion of cars. This isn't going to be just about BMWs. I know we're a BMW Mini showroom, but we want to share with you our passion for cars. We're going to have some guests, some great cars in here, and hope that most of you will join us for every episode.
I want to introduce our first guest tonight. I know him as Raz, but he is Mr. AMG or Rokenr on Instagram.
Holy shit!
Introduce the next guest. It's going to be Mike from Motech, and that is his little baby under there, or his and Tony's love child. Everyone. Our third guest is none other than Mr. SidewaysSid. I think we need to start with you, Raz.
So, have you got a vomit bag for my allergies?
For your allergies?
BMW showroom.
I know, yeah.
You have got a vomit bag. Yes, exactly.
I know that's not strictly true though, Raz. I mean, people know you as Mr. AMG, but you're spotted with something quite special in the M lineup. No. Well, I've got my contacts, mate. You know, I'm Mr. Oh, wait a second. What's that? That's not you with your brand new M4
AMG.
CS, is it?
Oh, no,
or was that an AMG product? What are you actually doing there?
Have you got spies in every
well, yeah. I'm when it comes to BMWs, well, yeah, we're pretty connected.
Well,
anyway.
yeah, it's interesting. Look, I'm known as Mr. AMG, but you've probably seen this a lot, Joe, where you get people in the comments, and our comment sections are going to be the opposite.
Yeah.
So I'll have my guys saying, yeah, screw M cars and AMG are the best.
Yeah, I see it a lot on your
yours.
Yeah.
And I always say to these guys that, look, if we're all driving the same thing, then it would be boring. And the guy who's going to go out and he's going to buy an M4 isn't going to come to a C63 no matter what you say to him.
Yeah.
Because that car does something for that person.
Yeah.
And in order to actually really believe that and make people understand that I live that, I've decided to try out this as my daily, actually.
Right.
So that's going to be my
so that's
daily
going to be
car.
your new daily.
Because to me, the best car in the world, if I can only own one, would be the C63S Coupe, the current one.
Yep. F1 likes.
I think it's just think it's an incredible car. It's sometimes as loud as the GTR.
Yeah.
It's got the extra 2 seats, and it's just an amazing vehicle.
That
Yeah.
is your station car. Is that what you're telling me?
That
Station, except you never catch the train.
This is also true. But that I just want to, I need to give it a chance and see, look, is it as good as the C63S? And if it's not as good in some things, perhaps it's as good or better in other things.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting my money where my mouth is, just to say that I'm happy to try everything.
Would you be prepared to bring that along one evening for us?
I would
at the
love
show?
to.
Because we've got a very, very special car we'd like to put that up against.
Yeah.
You can tell you're a YouTuber
Why?
because it's half wrapped.
No, he's a proper YouTuber. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not
Very
part of
good.
that.
And also, you run an amazing company called Rock Studios, which
That's right.
a lot of people probably.
That's sort of come out of a love of cars in general. So if you think of Rock Studio, it's something similar to, say, MSO in McLaren.
Yep.
Or it was inspired by a place called the AMG Performance Studio in Germany. And what this is, in the factory in the Falterbach, they have a little studio where you can get any paint work done, different colour carbon, different interiors, etc., etc. But there's nothing like that available in the UK.
Sure.
And these days, you've seen with the Motech stuff that Mike's doing amazing work with, and people just want individualisation. They want things that look like they come from factory, but they're specific to that customer.
Yeah.
So this is what has given birth to the studio. Now, we did a C63S wagon, which you've seen, the Hammer wagon, which was a fantastic project. But recently we've done something a little bit different, out of our comfort zone, and we wanted to do this just to prove that being AMG guys, we can delve into any other brand, understand it, and come out with something that looks like it was made by that brand. And that's what you're about to show here.
Ago, when I came over to drive that, and that was parked in your drive, and I was like, what is this?
Well, the funny thing is, this is at Park Lane, and we had some guys from BMW UK head office there just when I was dropping the car off.
Yeah.
And they sort of walked past, and they were asking Lucas, the sales manager there, what edition is this? When is this coming out?
Yeah.
And Lucas was like, no, this is actually done by these guys, which is the exact reaction that
you wanted, because it looks factory.
Because it looks factory.
Yeah.
And it's not worth doing something in terms of automotive design unless it conforms to the brief.
Yeah.
So this was meant to be like the Batmobile, the old CSL, like the Homage R concept recently that came out, but was not destined for production. And I thought that was a shame because I loved that concept. So the best car to do it on was the M2, and I think we've done.
They've done a cracking job. I think it's amazing.
Thank you, buddy.
So I've just bought an M2.
Yeah.
Does anyone know I've just bought an M2? I
Another
might have
one?
told a
Wait, another one? I thought you sold your M2.
Yeah.
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah, got another one. I didn't like the first one, I got another one.
Actually,
So I could come to you with my car and have it look like that.
Yes.
And we are now friends because we're working together.
Are you sure you haven't got a bit of Asian in you? I can see discount. Family and friends.
Well, as it happens,
As it happens, I am half Gujarati.
Oh dear.
Kem so right, so
I have no idea what that means.
Still not getting a discount.
it means discount. I think
Brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Thank you.
that's the first time I've seen your
Means a lot to me,
M2.
from you guys.
Joe wanted to have your M2 here a little while ago, didn't we?
Yeah, well, for that meet, but I was too hungover for it. I was worried
He was being
wouldn't make
disorganised.
it. Yeah.
That to me is and that's kind of what we want to be working with in it, and it's another reason for having Mike along as well,
Yeah.
because we love the idea of fettling our cars, fettling, take South London out of me for a minute, and actually we want to we want to make the cars better, but we don't want them to look anything other than OEM or something.
And you'll find a lot of customers, the majority feel the same way, and customization is a big thing in the US, and it's not so big right now in the UK, but this OEM plus idea is growing. And
Well, because
it's picking up steam.
I mean, you see these people, they've got all the money in the world, but if they don't want to buy a car, whether it's a Bugatti or whatever, if it's the same as the next car, or, his neighbour, so they want something individual. I think we should move on to Mr. Mike and Motech.
Yeah.
I was going to say, give us a quick rundown of what it is that Motech is, what Motech's about. Maybe
We did a video instead.
you did the
I'm not
videos,
very good at
didn't
talking.
No, well, you are.
Yeah, we and Tony learned how to press play.
It's all right.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
just
having a
getting
special
you ready.
moment.
We're having a bit of a technical moment down here.
We shouldn't have put the oldest man on the computer, should we?
No, I know. Where's Patrick?
We should have, or Sid. Are you old enough to use a computer?
No. Still got my baby sheet.
Can I just add something though? Because seriously,
Of course you can, Tony.
I just want to just give some respect to the chap who knocked this out.
That wasn't me.
I've been rubbing off on you.
No, he knocked this out in record time this evening. I've never seen anyone knock one out as quick as this.
He's recently single, that's why he's in that kind of quick.
Yeah, Patrick.
Where's
There he
Patrick?
is,
Patrick.
yeah.
Literally, how long did you got it? And Patrick's got a YouTube channel as well, Talk Chasers, and it's really good. I'm not just saying that because he's staring at me, looking at his man to come over and bump me. No, it's actually really good.
So this is Motech and.
As it so happens, that is the Motech M140 edition, car number 1, which is over here, so we're about to,
Gotta go
why
do
don't
it,
we
yeah?
go and have a look at it? Yeah.
Mr. Tony, you come in?
I'm coming.
Take his pants off.
Right, Rich.
Put its trousers down.
So, Mike, just take us round what we've done to the car. So, obviously, we started with an M140, which, for any of you guys that don't know the M140, this is affectionately known as the M-Light. And honestly, for my money, working with BMW for the last 10 years, there's very little that this thing can't do. This is like the best real-world performance car I think you can get, whether it be 3 or 5 door. It gives you the performance and the drive and just about everything else that you could want from a car.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't rate them very much.
No, you don't rate them at all, do you?
never.
I mean, you
I don't see what we're fussed about.
there's a chap in here tonight who's had at least 4.
Is that you?
No, he knows who he is. But honestly, it's a great car, but it does have a few shortcomings. And we sort of started talking to Mike about 6 months ago, and we said, what can we do just to make the thing better? And straight away he said, well, let's go and have a look at the package we can do. So Mike, just take us through what we've done to the car from your respect.
So, main things on the exterior is obviously, actually you had these bits done. We had the mirrors done black, front canals done in gloss black to match the front splitter. Obviously being a shadow edition, it does come with the darker headlamps and the black grills. Runs the sideboards as well in gloss black. We run a pipe gloss panel filter. And then the most important part, I'm guessing, really, is the Remus exhaust with carbon titanium tailpipe.
I don't think that's the most important part for me. It's this.
Ah, the springs and the spacers and the stance. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, just gives it a little bit more of an attitude, really.
And I drove this car back from your place down to Heathrow, and I have to say the ride quality was exactly the same but better.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It stops a lot of that body.
I expected to come home jiggling, you know, my man boobs all over the place, and in reality, you know, I came back a little sticky instead. Honestly, it drove phenomenal, and I didn't understand. You know, I know progressive springs.
Yeah.
I get it. I kind of got it, but the thing that I didn't understand was I thought that stiffer springs meant the car was going to be stiff.
Yeah.
But as you explained to me, it's progression.
It stops a lot of the body roll, so the key is to have it a real, like I said, OEM plus.
Yeah.
This looks like you could buy it from a dealer because you can. It's all about making it what they should have almost done. They've almost, with the M-Light cars, held them back far enough away from M2s because they wanted to buy an M2. But this sort of fills that gap a little bit closer.
Well, the first roundabout I came to, and you know, bear in mind we were running this car in, so I wasn't being silly with it. But the first roundabout I came to, we just went round it the same way as I'd come to your place, went round it on the way back, and it just went flat as a pancake.
Yeah, exactly.
And it made me then wonder, actually, does it need a limited slip diff? Because it's not picking up the rear wheel, it's not pitching. You've put the strut brace on underneath.
Yes, we did put the lower strut brace.
We got the under bracing on this. It just keeps the thing flat. And for me, visually now, it's the car it really should have been, I think, from the factory. You know, it's not going to be to everyone's taste. We've done this particular colour because we wanted the orange and black theme. But we are going to offer these for sale to anybody and everybody who wants them as a package, as an add-on package to the original car. And obviously the work you do on the car has got its own warranty, so that we're safe with that.
Yep.
We're not messing around with the engine or anything like that. So we should be fine as far as warranties go, because a lot of people are a little bit concerned about it. But what we're saying is, we're not saying that we're offering you a car which has got an all-encompassing warranty. What we're saying is, if you were buying this car and you were going to go to Motech anyway, and I have to say, the straw poll at the moment is about 50% of my customers visit you after they buy from me.
Yeah.
What we're going to do now is we're actually going to ship the car on a transporter up to you to do the conversion and bring it back, so you can actually pick it up from the dealership.
Hand in your hand over the bag.
All in one go,
Yeah,
rather than having to come and sit with you guys.
I'll drown him out,
you know.
please.
Yeah, of course you can. We'll talk about it.
Now, we're not allowed to start the engines in the showroom.
What'd you say?
Oh, very good. Yeah, he's going to do it anyway.
You got to remember that's cold and the exhaust is brand new as well. So I've heard that once they've been run in and they get 20% louder.
Catback exhaust.
Yes, that's another important point actually. I saw this exhaust on the floor before you fitted it, and obviously we do the M Performance back box, which is still available and is all warranted. But when I saw this exhaust alongside the stock stuff, it's just
the difference.
Night and day difference.
Yeah.
And
It's stunning.
it's a few £100s more than the M Performance back box, so it's well worth it. But ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you like and appreciate the car.
Yeah, what are people's thoughts, like honest thoughts?
I'm sticking in the front splitter to put on mine.
We also just say one thing, these are numbered cars as well.
Oh yes, of course.
We all like a number. So they're all plaque. This is number 1, so it says it in the door, and also on it as well. So they're all going to be plaques. Number one.
Really?
Yeah.
Approved by Joe Achilles.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no. I think now we should focus on this young boy over here.
I am in awe of your skills.
And
I wear these as a homage.
Yeah.
Do you wear them when you go to bed?
When only when I'm thinking of you, Sid.
You're very charming. You want me over?
Sid, you are a talent, aren't you?
Oh, I mean, there's, yeah.
Tell everyone about Sid.
Sid has got so much talent that it blows me away. I was a fan of your videos before I met you. Then I met you, didn't like you for a while, and now I like you again. But no,
Yeah, that's fine.
You're an awesome driver.
I thought you don't like him now, for a certain reason.
For a certain reason. What reason?
There's a reason.
I forgot.
There's many reasons, but which one are you alluding to?
What happens with Sid is, right, you're having a conversation about something. It could be burgers or cars or anything.
Yeah.
And he'll just name drop. He'll just say, "Yeah, I was just talking to Chris about it."
Oh, right.
Sorry, Sid.
I've got a lot of friends called Chris.
I don't know anyone called Chris. Well, you know, Chris
Yeah, but
Harris.
we haven't got. Yeah, Chris.
And
We
it's-
haven't got the
you
Chris
can't
out.
just name drop Chris Harris.
How upset did we get about that on the group chat? So basically, Sid, about a month ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, roughly.
I'm sure all of you know who Chris Harris is. And
If you don't, you're in the wrong building.
Big scar.
And about a month ago, I was speaking to you, and you said, "Oh, I'm doing something so exciting this week, mate, but I can't tell you." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Said
It's
that
like,
to
you
me as well.
Yeah.
And not only did he say I can't tell you, he said, and he's going to get right up Joe's nose.
yeah, I can see. That's the only reason.
It did, yeah,
I was
it
like,
did
what
look-
is it? Anyway, like a couple of days later, you're like, I think you just left me a video of you in a GT2 RS skidding around Landau circuit with Chris Harris driving, and
Just a regular Wednesday.
just a regular Wednesday, yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, but aside from that, where did you learn to how did you learn to become such a crazy driver?
GTA, really. Just regular GTA. No, it's not. I don't know. I think it's because I've been exposed at a young age.
Yeah,
And
7, 8.
yeah. So it was only
So a couple of years ago, yeah. Yeah, that was my joke.
Yeah. There you go. And I don't know where it all started.
In
Gaming.
Essex somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere
In Essex.
Joyriding.
Joyriding.
A racetrack in Essex.
Gran Turismo, you were saying.
Yeah, Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
It all started off in Gran Turismo, and then I'm a massive movie junkie, so I always get off with car movies. So if you can watch Ronin, like a car, Fast and Furious, some of the Bond movies.
In fact, the next show will be just us sitting here watching Ronin, I think.
Yeah.
We'll get away with it.
34 and
90 minutes.
Probably more entertaining.
Yeah.
Tuned up 406, whether it was tuned up, I don't know. But yeah,
That was doubtful.
yeah, definitely done, 100%. But yeah, no, I just get off of those type of movies, and I think, well, I'm a very stupid person. I just think, oh yeah, I should drive like that all the time.
I've seen some of the movies on your phone.
Oh yeah, I've seen it upstairs.
I don't watch them anymore. I can't
We
do
are PG rated, so
This is
Yeah,
not
they would not be
we
sharing
can't say, but yeah, no, and it just all went off from there, and
Nice.
got into cars, and it's all a bit of trial and error, mostly error, but yeah.
And give us a quick lineup of your car history. I mean, so you're what? You just turned 17?
No. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
You're 21, right?
What, should I just say all in one go?
Oh yeah.
No, let me just start with my first car.
Okay,
I
so-
just want to put a bit of perspective on this, right?
You are about 100 years old, then, aren't you?
So my first car, right,
Model T.
was TRL. Was
That's a special
a
edition.
1979 on a V plate.
How old are you?
Wait, I was born in 1979.
No, it wasn't in 1979. It was a 1979 Vauxhall Cavalier, 1.6 GL, rear-wheel drive. I'll have you know.
Rear-wheel drive.
Rear-wheel
Did you
drive.
skid it?
That's my first car.
Did you skid it?
I actually lost it on the Elephant Castle roundabout and did a 360 because nobody explained to me what rear-wheel drive was.
Okay.
And I was 17
You haven't
years
watched one of
old.
my videos?
17.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very old. So that's my first car. It cost me £500 at Shoreham auction. Your first car?
What, my first performance car?
Just your first.
Oh,
They're
we
all
know.
performance cars.
You've
I think.
never had anything but a
Yeah,
performance
no,
car.
there is one car I had which I started off with, which was a VW, which you know.
Oh yeah, they are.
And that is a wicked car, by the way.
It
I just
is.
want to say, you need to pull the fuse out because the traction control is really intrusive. But
What does the fuse? That doesn't do the ABS as
yeah,
well.
it
does it?
gets
Oh,
on
okay.
the
so
ABS, but it's
maybe
fine.
just warn
Literally, it's
people
fine. You
about
just pull
that.
a fuse. I think it's fuse 22 if I'm wrong. So in case you want to get up,
Such a nerd.
yeah, pull that out, you'll be fine. Just
But
remember.
what about the performance car that you bought that you couldn't drive?
Yes, the first car.
It sat there for 3 months.
Well, it did
It
move around
moved
for 3 months.
It moved around. Of course, not with him, but
on a
someone
race
that looked just
circuit, on
like
a
him.
race circuit. No, the first car I just turned 18, and I had a Cayman 2.7 981, so it was the shape of my car.
Yep.
It was the bog standard one, and I couldn't get insured.
You could not get insured.
It had the option of slippy lift though. I just want to say.
Doesn't matter what option it had of it.
Yeah, and it was a
Not
lovely
fishing
thing.
anyway.
It was a lovely thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I couldn't get insured for it. So
Nice.
What I do want you to just explain to me, just explain this.
Welcome everyone to the very first episode of Honk A Song, the game that
Honk
we see
A Song, ladies and gentlemen.
Battling it out.
You look so impressive.
On our horns. Alright guys, we're going to jump straight into the first track. Bam!
What do you want to say?
Oh. Oh,
Right, I'm off.
Alright, I'll spare you.
You're lucky we just used that one. There's a lot worse out there.
I can actually say, Sid's face is saying, at least I'm getting paid. SidewaysSid.
Mum, yeah, no, it's not a good time.
Just bring her back.
No, we're filming, I told you. Yeah, with Joe. You know, Joe, yeah, Joe off YouTube. Look, yeah, he's a good-looking boy, and I don't know why he's single. I'm sorry. No, we all think he's gay, but he's not. Mum, listen, I can't talk.
Get back in bed, Danny.
Yes, no, there's other people here. Yes, Raz. Yes, Mr. AMG, that's right. Yes. Yes, very good-looking boy. That's right. Yes, he's here. No, he's not here. Mike is not here tonight. Mum, I promise you, Motech Mike is not with us. Okay, he's already said he's really sorry. He did not mean to give you that much horsepower. No, he's going to come and fix the wall himself. It's fine. You've got to go. Bye, love you.
Another BBC.
Not a deal.
Right. Okay.
She did actually have a question. She said, "Who's the fastest?"
Well, are these three?
Very, very interesting question.
It is an interesting question. It just so happens we might have
Yes, we might have
a
a
reasonably
challenge.
priced toy car challenge. And I'd just like to say that none of these guys have actually got a clue what we're about to throw on them. There's the leaderboard. Yeah. Don't worry, Raz, you're not first. We thought it would only be fair to get Sid up first.
There we go.
Yeah. And Sid, if you lose, remember you can't be upset.
Look, this is all rigged. I just want to say though, this is all
Here we go, it's all rigged.
Right,
It is all rigged.
come with me,
What do
Sid.
you want me to do?
I mean, this is a bit different to a GT2 RS. But yeah.
Right, who's got a stopwatch?
Right,
Ready? Steady, go!
Cheat!
I'm going to do an Audi.
Do I have to wear the helmet?
Yeah. Piss off, quick. Come on, Sid, you got to win this one.
Ah, fuck, stop the glasses.
You can't see.
I can't see. Oh, wait. It's a bit rear biased like a 911. Whoa. I can't skin it. It's an Audi.
You're going to be top of the leaderboard because you're the only one at the moment, so at least
I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
Oh, Christ. Right.
Right. Raz, 3, 2, who's got stopwatch? 1, go!
Crap.
Go, Raz!
This is quite tough. Fucking hell. Somebody push me. I'm too heavy. Can I get seconds knocked off from my hair? Somebody give me a push. Yeah, that's better. Hey! Where's the exhaust button?
Right, 3,
Oh,
up. Nice, take it over and stop.
never again. I'm not coming back here. Oh.
I brought my racing driver with me, who's actually got a racing license. But
We need to pop out.
yeah, I know that too. But where's Patrick? Because he should have my laptop, and we should. So we're going to add about 40 brake horsepower, about 80 newton meters of torque. It should be good to go in about 2 minutes.
3, 2, 1, go!
I'm not helping.
Is that how you ride a horse?
Box stop!
40 something.
41.92.
38.9.
So we're going to start this second part talking about questions that some of you guys have. I know Gordon Murray's out there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Gordon Murray's in here. Where's Gordon Murray gone? Here he is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Murray Gordon.
Murray Gordon.
That's just a fantastic name.
What's the first
Actually,
question?
I'm going to start with one. Murray gave us about 8 questions. Thank you.
Okay.
But the question that jumped out for me from yours, I'm going to ask the panel here. Will we get to the point where petrol and diesel engines are seen in the same light as smoking is now? As in post the smoking ban in pubs? Will it take something like smoking bans on combustion engines to do that? Or will we all fall in love with Teslas, Roadsters and Renault Zoe eSports and forget about 99 RON as time goes on?
There's nothing in there about Mini or BMW iCars.
Makes a change.
It's absolutely fine.
I hope I'm dead by the time that happens.
Yeah. I went to LA last year and they love electric cars. Like
Well, that
Teslas
says everything.
everywhere.
Doesn't it really?
Exactly.
So which lap dancing bar was this where you were talking about electric cars then?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's a difficult one because I think it's inevitable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's changing, and I think I was speaking to a friend of mine about this recently, and he's a real eco-greenie, and he thinks by 2023 everyone's going to be in electric cars, which is just physically impossible. So I hope at least he's completely wrong. But I don't know. I think people are already frowning upon diesels in a certain manner. People that
diesel
usually
sales are down 35%.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of
More
that
in
is
London.
it's because of the laws that have changed.
the laws have changed, and also
Parking charges and there's all sorts of the government. The government first said, well, buy diesel.
yeah.
And now they're saying,
like,
well,
no diesels,
yeah.
And it's really like taxi. There's dirty, filthy black diesels, but then there's, like the 330. There's the BMW 3-litre 6-cylinder. So yeah, I don't know. It's have I kind of gone off subject a little bit here?
You always do.
Yeah, I know.
You're waffling again, aren't you?
The world still needs diesels.
Yeah.
There's not many people out there. At the end of the day, it's all cost.
Yeah.
Fuel's not cheap.
I think it's possible we'll all become commuters by that time because there's an X factor about driving that isn't about speed.
Yeah.
And I think once that's lost and all you have is speed, will the thrill be there to want to jump in an electric car and go fast? I'm not convinced.
No, that's a good point. I mean, having driven the i3, which is a BMW product, and the i8, which is a BMW product, and forgive me for saying that.
Can you buy them next door?
You can buy them.
No.
Yeah, but there are no deals on them. So don't ask. But can I just say, the i3 is bloody fast. Anyone that hasn't driven an i3 from takeoff, the step off is phenomenal. But that is it. It stops after that. Whereas if you drive the i8, which has got a tiny little mini 1.5 triple in the back of it, the sound that has been orchestrated through that car, and I know it's synthesised, and forgive me, but my ears can't tell the bloody difference. It doesn't matter. It sounds like a Porsche flat 6. It's just a ludicrous sound. And that changes the whole drive of that car.
Yeah.
It's a stupid example, but you got the AMG Project 1, which is a 1.6 litre out of the F1 car, and the rest is all electric motors. But just that motor itself makes a huge amount of difference.
How many of those have you got on order?
Joe, I was going to say, do you know
in my
anyone?
driveway.
Yeah, well,
I never said anything about
That
it.
was fantastic.
But yeah.
yeah. Can I drive it before Nico?
You said you wanted to lick it when I took your phone call that day. Yeah. But you say that about everything, really.
There's one problem. There is one problem with the Project One, and that is it won't fit through those doors. What are we going to do?
I have to have it in the summer outside the car park.
Interesting challenge.
Maybe we get Mr. Berry just to build a new showroom just so we could have the Project One in here.
This one's going to tug at Joe's heartstrings, I'm sure.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No, I'm not. What's one item from an Alpina would you like BMW to offer, presumably as a standard feature? So if there's anyone that's had more experience of Alpinas in the room other than Joe, please speak up. And Sid.
Well, I think the standout feature for any Alpina, as far as I'm concerned, is the suspension. And that makes such a difference, especially in the UK, because we've got such terrible roads compared to somewhere like Germany where they're built. And a good suspension setup means the car handles so much better. And people get it mixed up. They think jumping in, say, an M4, something very stiffly sprung, is good handling, and it is on a smooth circuit where there's grip, but not on a British A road where there's bumps. And I think something like, and that's why I go on about adaptive suspension so much on M lights, because honestly it makes such a difference having it in comfort. You get so much more grip through the corner. And Alpina suspension. Long story short, Alpina suspension. Tony, can you wake up and read the next question?
Next question. Okay, this is quite good. We can all have a little go at this one. This is from Matthew Jones. Matthew would like to know a few questions to all of the panel. First cars, we've done you for first cars. Yeah. So, Mike, first car.
Oh, I have to.
Go on.
Really?
Isn't it a Nova?
Yeah, it's a Vauxhall Nova.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something about?
Do you know? You probably don't even know what Vauxhall Nova is.
For anybody that hasn't had a Vauxhall Nova, right? It used to have blistered arches like an Audi UR Quattro.
Yeah? You did, you had a 3-door.
But more importantly, if you had more than a size 9, I haven't got one. If you had more than a size 9 foot, you could actually feel the steering column rubbing your toes as you turn the steering wheel.
But then the Fiat Punto of about 2005, the same thing. They hadn't changed that, so.
I was 9 in 2004.
You want to mine?
Raz.
Right, Mercedes used to do this weird
C43.
thing. No.
I don't know, probably C63.
Unofficially, the first car that I learnt on was the Asians in here would know, and I see Nadeem sniggering in the back there.
Nissan Cherry.
No, it's called a Mehran in Pakistan.
Okay.
I was about 13 or 12 or something when I started, with some pillows underneath the seat.
You still have pillows under the seat in that one, mate.
You have there's a velvet pillow.
There's a woman.
Do you expect me to drive with that behind my back?
Put it on my screen.
Or do you allow me to leave it
I
here?
better take that and avoid embarrassment. I started on that, but the first car I owned was a Mercedes. Did a weird A-Class, which is a semi-automatic. So you had the manual gearbox and a clutch.
I drove one of those as a demo for a
Yeah, it was weird. It was good. It was alright.
It's a quick gearbox.
But that was the first car. Yeah.
Wow.
A weird one.
Rumour has it you've only got an automatic licence, is that true, guys? Oh, sorry, was that
There's a story behind that. I was actually going to come on my YouTube. But long story short, when the CLS first came out, the original one, the banana car, that was the first proper car that I had spec'd up for myself.
Yeah.
And I still had L plates this time, right? So I rock up to the test centre in this brand new CLS, having driven it for about 3 months on L plates. Of course, someone was always with me at the time when I was driving. Rocked up, passed the test. I actually learnt on the Fabia, but we didn't have it available on the day, so I wasn't going to cancel my test. Fuck it, we'll just drive the CLS there.
Yeah.
And I passed it. I said, look, if there's ever an outstanding car, and in fact, the one car that made me think I need to go and retake my test is Sid's car, because I thought it came in GT4.
Yeah.
It's worth going through the hassle again.
You'll never go over a speed limit.
No.
That's it, it's going over.
Stuck in.
I can't drive that car, I can't get it into gear. The clutch is just too bloody heavy. Oh, sorry, that is just mad, that clutch. Not that yours has got a clutch left, I might add. What was your first car?
Mine was...
In Oz, no doubt.
No, the first car I owned was over here, and that was what was it? 99 Golf GTI. So Mark IV, big heavy bulby ones. 2 litre, 8 valve, 115 horsepower. Oh my god, where's Scott? Where's Scott? There he is. Yeah, you remember that.
It wasn't a colour concept, was it?
No. So this one was, at least it was silver and black, and then I went on to a 1.8 turbo, which was a big upgrade, but it was an estate and it was gold with beige leather.
Jewish race.
How excited I was about it. I was like, Scott, this thing's fast, oh my god.
So you owned a hot hatch, your first car was a hot hatch?
Well, yeah,
just
very
the worst
mild.
of its kind.
Yeah, very mild. Yeah, the very worst, yeah.
Okay, guys, what's currently the best production car for you?
For me.
Right now, what's the best? GT3.
Manual.
Give me 1 minute, can you go next? Yours is going to be AMG, isn't it?
Project 1.
If I could only choose one in the world, it would be a C63S Coupe, like I said.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because it's got sound, handling.
You just had one, haven't you?
Yeah, that engine, to anyone who's not driven one, everybody goes on and on and on about the 6.2 litre being the best. It's not. The 4 litre bi-turbo is louder. It's got the same power curve, and it's
How can that be louder than turbos?
It's louder.
Amazing, isn't it?
You just have to experience that engine.
I was never a big fan of the noise. Whenever you hear an AMG noise
You
go
just
by,
know
you just go.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I know my answer now. The Motech edition.
Ladies and gentlemen, it took him long enough. Please give a round of applause for that. what's the best production car for you, Joe?
Well, again, I'm going to be, not boring, but I'm going to agree with Sid, the new GT3. Although, at the moment, cars I've driven, it's funny because my two favourite cars in the world are the GT4, and this is, well, most of you know this anyway, GT4 and the GTR. That to me is like the faster, more focused, crazy version of that.
Better looking, better sounding.
Depends who's driving it. If you're in the driver's seat, of course. Yeah. No, but yeah, I just think that they're both such driver-focused cars. But I would get the GT3 with the PDK.
It's a shame you're not allowed to start that.
But I haven't got a choice.
Oh yeah, you haven't got.
It's a shame you're not allowed to start the engine on that.
Because of health and safety. Yeah.
Have they not gone home?
What if I look over there? I mean, I'm not sure if
So what goes on up there?
here or not.
Is that where you sell all your cars up there? Is that where all that?
Yeah. So this is like all the accessories that we sell.
Nice.
The mini range and
Bottles.
bottles. Yeah.
Bottles of
And we do some nice iron-on patches as well.
You do, yeah.
Car which you've sold and you most regretted. Now I'm going to open this back up this one. So the car I sold and most regretted, probably because of what it's worth today, is a toss-up between the Alfa Romeo SZ Zagato, the S30 Il Monstro, most of you know it as. Should never have sold that. £17,000 I sold it for. I think they're worth at least 50k today. And the one I sold before that I should have kept was the Renault 5 Turbo 2, mid-engine rally car, 85 on a B plate. Sold that for £13,000 and you can't get one today under 50, 60 grand. Big mistakes. Anyway. It doesn't matter because he's got another one.
It's actually not that car.
No, is it not? I'm
The car I miss
surprised.
the most is my Panamera diesel. I had a Porsche Panamera diesel, the previous shape, facelift car. Actually had an optional slippy dip as well for skids. It was brilliant. Did 50 to the gallon.
You saw a bit of it on the video, didn't you?
Yeah, we did see a bit of that.
That was
You could see a
yours.
bit of it. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. 4 up and Porsche said it did 160 miles an hour, but it did 178.
You found that out in Germany, obviously.
Yeah,
obviously in Germany.
You've never been to Germany.
Germany, just outside Chelmsford. In between Colchester.
Mike, you had any that you've let go that you
Mine
regretted?
was a regret. I went to buy an 992 M3 competition pack, but next to it was a 1M, and they're both the same price. And I bought the M3, and I loved it, and of course it did that, and the 1M did that, so I missed out, but that's my regret.
I had 2 SLS coupes that I sold. Two.
Of course, you wouldn't do it in ones, would you?
No,
You do everything in pairs, don't you?
it's true actually.
He's got 2.
He's got 2
I had
wives.
2 that. You would know.
I should have done that, not that, shouldn't I?
That's alright.
PG. Anyway, yes. What were we talking about?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, should we? Let's throw some. So yeah.
So from the audience, we got a question.
So what's the most disappointing car you've ever driven? So you came in with quite high expectations and then it just did not deliver.
Ooh, good question.
Aventador.
Isn't that by Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, that was the most disappointing car for me.
That doesn't surprise me.
It looks beautiful and it sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
And it drives like a bucket of shit. I'm really
Just bleep that out, please.
You're definitely related to Chris Harris, aren't you?
I don't know, like, where'd you go wrong? The Murcielago was a brilliant car. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't the most precise thing, but it was a proper driving car.
And you could skid it.
And it was skiddable. And you'd only go better.
Yeah.
Obviously, this being the Valve group,
Yeah.
you think, right, well, let's go nick a couple of lads from Porsche.
Yeah.
Like what Volkswagen did with the Golf R,
Yeah.
and make a proper car. And he didn't. He just made a car which is for the people who park outside Harrods.
Well, that's but that's the main market for it, isn't it? So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. It not sound and looks.
Do you like it? Yeah.
Of course he does.
Such a toss.
Oh, he's a top. Look at his haircut.
I bought a car, I accidentally bought a car without test driving it and regretted it from the moment I picked it up. And that was a Vauxhall VXR 8 with a 6.2 non-supercharged manual.
What's wrong with it?
It
was
just
a
boat.
It was a Vauxhall. You know, I tried to lance off all the badges and put Holden badges on it. You know, HSV and yeah, it was just a bit.
M badges anyway.
It was just massive. You sat in this thing, and I didn't realise how big they were. You know, because I'd only seen them on V8 supercars going around the track. And I just went and bought this thing, got in it, and I was like swamped in this car.
Was this like a Berry Vauxhall VXR car?
Was it?
A Berry limited edition.
Berry limited edition.
It was a Berry series.
Very limited edition in the sense that I only kept it for a week and sold it and lost £3,000. Anyway, moving on. I think there might be someone in the audience who regrets selling one of their cars. I'm just going to go out and give them a VIP badge because we are in the great midst of a legend of mine. So we've got Mr. David Yu from Thank you, Mr. Yu. The owner of Godzilla, no less, probably the most famous Nissan Skyline GTR that's ever graced any of the pages of Evo magazine and most of the other editorials. And I know you don't own it anymore, do you?
No.
What have you got at the moment, though?
Well, when it came to a sensible, practical performance car to replace it, I bought a BMW M135.
You did, didn't you? And you just changed it recently for
I decided to go completely different. I bought an M140i.
And forgive me, what does Mrs. Yu drive?
Funnily enough, she drives a BMW M135i.
Where did she buy that?
Again, some dodgy geezer I know.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, David Yu. YouTube channel up and going now, haven't you? You're and he's doing a lot of modifications to his M140, so please do look David up on YouTube. Thank you.
Because someone came up to me earlier on and said they'd come, I think it was 132 miles to get here, which is just blew my mind. So who has come the furthest tonight? Who can outdo 100?
150.
Oh, did you do 150?
You in the hotel as well?
Yes.
Not like that.
Let's get his name first.
Magic Mike, ladies and gentlemen. He's such a smooth operator.
Give him a bed t-shirt to wear.
Yes. Jake.
What's the three best cars that have come out of BMW showrooms in the last, say, 4 or 5 years, and what are the three worst?
Ooh. Well, we can do the first part. Might have to play by.
Can I do that?
Yeah, we can edit out the second part.
Worst is easy.
Three best in the last 5 years.
One.
M140 basic edition, obviously.
I don't mean to sound biased, but honestly.
Then a normal M140.
Anyone that hasn't driven a 140 you don't know what you're missing.
Well, no, I think we have to say M135 because that just came from nowhere, and that was the car that started it. These are improvements over a brilliant car, so that was a big game changer. The 1M, again, same era, well, a bit before.
Bit analog.
Being outside from BMW, I thought M2.
Yeah, M2, but I think
that's the only one for an AMG guy I thought needed.
You just bought another one.
Yeah.
I think the M2, yes, but I think the 1M is a more special car, so I wouldn't say the M2 and the 1M, but if I was being a bit different. And I have to say maybe something like you just gone out and got yourself, actually, how old is that? That's more than 5 years. I was going to say the E90 V8 M3.
What about the 760M, something else to do?
M760.
I really like it for what it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's something different. It's sense of humour. It's the Germans going, we have a sense of humour.
I'm with Raz on the M2. That's probably the best M car on sale tonight.
Especially that one you drive.
Yeah, best, yeah.
Actually, Joe, the E92 M3, that does just fit the 5-year gap.
Yeah, so I think that's one of those cars that, like a lot of M cars, they get slated recently. People slate them, say, they're not, and then halfway through their lifetime, they go, actually, they're brilliant. And then by the time they go out of production, they're like, that was the best car ever. And the new one is, they always do that, don't they? They build it up to the end of the life cycle.
I have to say, guys, if you want to put your money into a car and not lose it, that at the moment, the E92, E90, M3 V8s.
I'll edit that bit out.
Safe place to put your money. They're only going to go in one direction. As more people write them off, more people write them off, then the values are going to start to creep up even more than now at the moment. That's a good bet.
Fantastic car, fantastic engine.
Yeah.
What are the worst ones then?
Worst ones?
Active Tourer.
The problem is, when you drive an Active Tourer, they're actually not bad. You got like.
I've got to tell you a story. When the 2 Series Actual Tourer came out, and I looked at it and I open arms, I went, I'll take one home and drive it. And I drove up to a set of traffic lights near where I live, and there was a guy looking at me opposite, and I was thinking, nah, he knows this is a new model, he knows it's a new model. I had my window down, and as the lights went green and we pulled off and he got level with me, he looked at me and he just went, There's not, honestly, not too many bad cars in the range at the moment. There have been a few howlers through the years, but I think at the moment, the one that should have been better was the 320 SI, which was the touring car.
The carbon.
That's going back a bit. That's going back a few years.
I mean,
Raz doesn't remember that.
It's 08.
Yeah, you weren't even born then. It's like 10 years ago.
Excellent.
Mr. John?
If it was possible to get you to not have a BMW car as a daily driver, let's just take them out of the equation completely. What would you drive as a reasonably priced daily driver?
Me?
Yeah.
Or,
He'd walk.
Joe.
Yeah.
Anybody else can answer.
Toyota Yaris, 2005. Patrick's mum edition. No, that's not. Sorry, Patrick's mum.
Ouch.
No, but you know, yeah. I would. Serious answer to that question. I would. You know what? It would either be a Golf of some description. I loved your Club Sport RS, whatever it's called. But there's 2 seats, so where would I put the bitches? There are no bitches. There are no bitches. No, so I think it would be a Golf of some description. Maybe the Golf R, which is brilliant. Or
S3, that's an Audi. Audi!
Or it would be Seat Leon, the 300 Cooper. They're brilliant cars.
No
really.
understeer?
Well, no, they're not. They're very balanced. Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, obviously they're front wheel drive, so they've got a little bit of understeer. But yeah, that's what I'd go for. Good question. Any others? Yes.
I got 2. I don't know which one you want to pick. Would you choose 440i or the M4, and also manual or automatic transmission?
You better say 440i. I think you've got one.
It's hard. I think the M4 competition pack is brilliant. It's so much better than the original M3 and M4s that came out, the F80s. I would still have that because if I had the choice, it was like one or the other. But if it was cost, it's a hard one because I love that 440i Grand Coupe that you lent me. Brilliant car. And it's got, when you get all your kit on it like yours with the special exhaust and stuff, it sounds fantastic. But it's still a long way away from an M car when you really start pushing them. And not so like these things, you know, they're like 8, 9 tenths.
But as an I don't use it every day. Makes it sound
as a daily. The 440 is a much better car.
Yeah, I mean,
much better.
That's the thing I find. The M3s and M4s are great at what they do, but they are a bit of a one-trick pony. Once you've driven it fast, you think, oh, yeah.
And in terms of the gearbox, I mean the ZF8 speed. You know, I'm back and forth all the time with them, but the ZF's just so good. The manuals are just, some are good and some aren't. So my one's brilliant now that it's done 15,000 miles. It's for sale. But when it was new, it wasn't great, and I have to confess to kind of hiding my misery when I first picked that car up because it was so tight, and I just didn't like it. It annoyed me. But it's got better and better and better. So I think we should wrap it there, guys, because it's been long enough. I personally just want to thank everyone for coming. It's been awesome.
Question directed to Raz. One of my friends is already, embezzled with the fact of.
Give it 5 minutes. We know what's coming.